Good morning, Soraya.
Hey,
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing well. We're getting towards the end of the year here.
You know what I need for the end of the year?
What's
Because
that?
this year has been a weird year.
It has been.
I say let's ruin. Let's ruin the year. Ruin my favorites.
What? You're talking about Chris Cacavas' new
Hell
album,
yeah,
aren't
talking
you?
about Chris Cacavas. 3 releases in 2020. For those of you who say 2020 has been the worst, peh. It's been an interesting year.
Yes, yes.
We've had interesting musical performances in unusual delivery systems, but we've also had pretty cool music be released. And
Yes.
Chris Cacavas, who likes to say that he doesn't do much, 3 releases in 1 year. You pointed that out the other day, and I still can't believe it.
Who does he think he is? The Monkees? Like who releases 3 albums in a year?
Who do you think he is? Zeppelin?
Right.
Come on.
Yes, yeah. So this is good for us.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Great for us, but also great for fans of good music and Chris Cacavas fans. So
Yes.
today's guest, if you haven't figured it out, is Chris Cacavas talking about his latest release. Chris Cacavas ruins your favorites.
Yeah, we got to find out about this title, don't we?
So let's get started. Hi, this is Soraya.
And this is Jeff.
Our podcast is called Paisley Stage Raspberry and Rhyme,
A podcast where the two of us play music that we like and share anecdotes and background about the tunes.
We hope you'll join our conversation. And without further ado, a groovear.
Let's get groovy. Oh, here's Chris.
Right in the nick of time.
Let's add him to the disco party. Connecting to Chris Cacavas.
If he's not wearing boogie shoes, I'm going to be disappointed.
So here we go. You got me?
Oh, there he is.
Boom.
We can hear you. We just can't see you, my friend.
All right, hold on. Let me check the, all right, so you got my voice.
Yeah, we got that.
I loud and clear, huh?
Yes, sir.
Should I turn it down or?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, going to video now. And you see me? I see me.
We don't.
Okay, hold on.
Can you describe what you look like? Soraya said she's expecting platform shoes.
I'm expecting boogie shoes, man.
Baby, my boogie shoes are long gone, sadly.
Ah!
I mean, I can boogie in any shoes I'm wearing.
See, that's the proper answer. I can
But
be
my
wearing
actual,
boogie shoes.
but my actual platforms are long gone. I got them at Florsheim, actually. They were rainbow wingtips.
Shut it!
Oh my God, they were amazing.
Can you imagine? Florsheim is such a proper shoe store. And
I know, it's
rainbow
ridiculous.
Dang.
It's ridiculous. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Here we go. Start video. You guys ready?
We're ready.
Are you sitting down?
Ready.
Are you sitting down?
We're sitting. Look at you. Look at you
looking at me.
Hey man, you looking at me? You looking at me?
Yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you.
Chris, it is so good to see you.
Yeah.
You too, guys. I love you guys. Oh my God.
You know we love you too.
100%.
Awesome.
Chris, we are so happy to have you on. I know our listeners are thrilled. Hey, Jeff made an observation and we have a question about it. 3rd release of 2020. What are you up to?
Well, actually, I think technically home recordings came out a year ago in November. I believe.
Okay.
Uh-oh, somebody's going to do the math.
I'm going to go to Bandcamp.
Gonna try and get a little more light on my ugly mug here.
No, Hey, you
Eh.
look fantastic. What are you honey? It's all about how you feel good. You do you.
I feel pretty good. You
Then
guys looking good? You feel it? If you guys feel half as good as you look, you guys are feeling damn good.
Aw, I was just telling Soraya she looks fabulous.
yeah. Hey, when you take a shower, it helps.
See, that might be my first mistake. It's like,
Oh.
can
Oh
you
man.
tell me how that goes again?
Okay, wait.
Oh yeah, November 2019. I stand corrected.
Yeah. Okay, so second release of 2020.
Well, here's the cool thing. I can still get under the wire with the third release. Yeah, yeah.
You okay?
But I'm working on a Chromo Valdez thing right now. And so that is technically not Chris Cacavas, but hey, gonna do this Chromo Valdez thing, and then maybe I'll bust out another Chris Cacavas thing, because I'm crazy.
No, you're artistic and obviously inspired. I mean,
I am. I'm frustrated. I'm equally frustrated and inspired. And like I was pretty honest about with my last release on Facebook, it's like, I need the money. Boy, do I need the money. So, this is an opportunity. This is a way that I can not actually beg for money, but I can actually create something and offer it. It's the barter system. I think it's the future. It should be the future. It was certainly our past, where people traded services for goods
right.
and goods for services. And it's all kind of all I got to offer. People are selling off their equipment. I pretty much sold off everything that I can afford or that I am willing to sell off. Let me put it that way. And I've sold some very, very special pieces of equipment, like very special. But most of this happened already years ago, when I was already struggling. But it's okay. Things come and go. They're just things in the end, material things. Uh, but um, the where I'm at now, it's like I need to still continue to be able to record music and play live when and if that happens again. So there are certain things that I absolutely cannot and will not get rid of,
Good.
no matter how desperate I am. I still got that option of prostituting myself.
No,
And
I like the idea of more music from Chris Cacavas, that's for sure.
cool,
You
awesome.
need-
Me
you
too,
need-
actually. Me too. Yeah.
So one of our questions, Soraya and I were talking about is, um, obviously you're inspired and you can come up with all of this new music. Why the idea to go back and re-record some of your other material, our favorites, and you decide
Yeah.
to ruin them?
And ruin is subjective.
Um, it was actually an idea that my wife Rose and I talked about some years ago. For me to do piano, just voice and piano renditions of some of my songs. And the the thing about that is like it's an easy option, Well, not completely easy because the point is I wrote these songs on guitar. Some of them or most of them I played piano on when I recorded them. But to make this record, it was actually more difficult than I expected because I actually had to relearn the songs on the piano. I had to figure out what the hell are these chords, because I played them over and over on guitar, live in live situations. And so I knew them inside out on the guitar. But to play them on the piano, I actually had to go back and learn my own songs. The advantage was that at least I knew the arrangements And for most of them, I knew the vocals, I knew the lyrics, but not all of them. On a few, I had to actually, type up the lyrics and have them next to my garage band when I was recording, to know what the. I'm singing. And I was pretty I was pretty faithful where I could be. I always went with the original tempo. I tapped it in so I knew exactly what the tempo of the original was. For most of them, I kept the original key that it was in. But a few I had to change. I had to lower the key because I can't sing that high anymore. See cigarettes and or whatever. Just age.
Yeah.
My balls finally dropped, and I just can't sing as high as you know. I didn't have a lot of options there. It's like I could have gone full castrato, you know what I mean? But I'm like, nope, nope.
No, no.
Thank you. Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, that's
Cheers,
a
by the way.
salud, salud, salud.
Salud, salud.
Oh wait,
Hey.
how do you say it in German?
Prost.
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 Prost. So, ruins your favorites. This sounds like a little tongue in cheek, I'm hoping.
The title is curious.
Well, the thing is, most of my album, well, a couple of the album titles have been ironic, and I am into irony, of course. Um, the best example is the record Good Times, because it's certainly not about, it's not like, it ain't a feel good record, let's put it that way.
Noted.
So I don't know what else we got. Self-taught, yeah, that's not quite as obviously ironic. My first thought, my voice sounds weird. Is it okay? Is this working for you guys?
It sounds good to me.
Okay. Um, my first thought for a title for this record was actually Switched on Cacavas. Like switched on Bach, right?
Yeah.
Which my dad turned me on to that record. I actually have two copies still on vinyl. I don't think I have the original one from back in the day, but my dad turned me onto that record and it blew my mind. Um, but that record is so holy for me. Okay, that's one aspect that why I didn't go with that. And the other is that record, although she now she was interpreting classical music with no vocals. It was completely created with synthesizers, which my record is not.
Okay.
So I couldn't, I didn't feel like I could justify calling it Switched on Cacavas. Although there might be a Switched on Cacavas in my future, but only if I can figure out how to do everything just with computers or synthesizers. Right. So then I don't know where this came from. Oh, okay, right. So I'll tell you where the title came from. So what became clear to me as I started doing this, initially I did want to do the voice and piano thing. But when I start recording, I always need a beat because I need the tempo, right? As I mentioned earlier. I want to really lock it into the original tempo that was for some reason important to me. And once I get a beat, then it takes it already into another direction. It takes it into Chromo Valdez land. So, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to take that freedom and I'm going to mix it up and I'm going to let these two alter egos, they're both alter egos. Do either of us exist? I don't fucking know. And and honestly, this is the closest I think that Chromo and Chris have ever worked together, and I'm pretty happy with the results. Yeah, I'm very happy with the results. My biggest regret about this recording, which I probably shouldn't divulge, but this is just the way I am. When it came time to sing, I was at the tail end of like a 2-week cold. So my voice on some of the tracks, in my opinion, is just trash. I squeaked them out. I squeaked out those high notes, and I'm trying to sing like 3-part harmonies and stuff. In the end, I'm content. I'll say it that way. I'm content, and it was a really fun process. It was a little bit experimental, and the whole process of relearning the songs on piano was also really fun and challenging. Yeah, so that's kind of how that came about. Right. So ruins your favorites. As I realized where this record is going, it was clear to me that fans of my music, how I recorded those songs at that time, would maybe not right away dig this. You know what I mean? They'd be like, "What the fuck?" With electronic drum beats and synthesizers. I knew it could be off-putting, but I was okay with it. I was committed to what I was doing, but I kind of wanted to warn the listeners, which is why I ended up with the title "Ruins Your Favorites."
Yeah, he gave us a definite heads up. Chris, one of the more interesting comments, or I think one of the things that caught me off guard was you were announcing this online, and then there came this sudden announcement on Facebook. Hey, I told you I'd have it done by this date. It's not going to get done. It's going to wait. And then, people were saying, and then Steve Wynn replies, you know what? Just get it done and put it out there. And so I was fully expecting a little lag. And then the next announcement I get is that it's out. So is it that Steve gave you that last push, or did you finally just say, you know what, I'm okay with what's here?
Well,
I'm ready.
Soraya, I was close enough that, okay, let me put it this way. The day I wanted to release it, it was not ready. Okay, so that's legitimate. Um, but I only needed that much more time to finish it. And I had two options: release it as soon as it's ready, or wait till the next band camp free Friday thing.
Right.
And when Steve wrote that, then I was right. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. So I spent the next day or the next 40, I think it was like 24 hours. And I went and finished those mixes, and I listened and I signed off on it. And I said, okay, let's do this. Let's just put it out there. But definitely Steve did have something to do with that.
Because it was pretty amazing when I got that notification. I went straight to go buy it. I said, shoot, I don't know what happened, but I'm here for all of it. So it was pretty cool. But I'm glad
Thank you.
you had that extra time then to
Yeah,
get it to a place where you were comfortable.
it was literally just finishing mixes. I had 10 songs and like 8 were mixed. I think I probably still had to sing one on that day. You know what I mean? So it's literally the songs were not complete. There's no way, I could have released it on, and I tried. I was busting my ass. I really wanted to get it out on that Friday. Um, it just didn't work. And I was okay, and then I was okay with it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Didn't happen on that Friday. It's all good.
So it made me think, um, if you were if you consider yourself a perfectionist, or are you more of like the REM style where mistakes and all, it's going out?
Mm.
That's what I was wondering when it didn't meet the deadline, and I was thinking, is Chris in there like making everything just perfect? But it sounds like the songs weren't even quite finished. It was less a perfectionist thing and more of a, these songs aren't even cooked yet, completely cooked yet.
In this case, I mean, all the tracks were there. They just had not been mixed. And like I say, I think there might have been even one. There was at least one or two that had not even been sung yet. You know, um, and the mixes are really important to me. The whole process is really important to me. And I would say, yes, to some degree, I am a perfectionist. But on the other hand, I welcome the chaos. Let me put it that way, which is something that I learned from Hal Gelb, from Giant Sand. You have to let these things just come into your music, and I love that. I love that process. I love those surprises because I don't want to know every damn thing that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Um, and I like the quirkiness. I think it also gives a song soul. If you don't try to control every aspect of it.
Yeah, let some stuff happen. Um, I mean,
But having said that, it's like I'll play a piano track 10 freaking times in a row until I get it right.
okay.
For me, the foundation, especially the rhythm, has to be tight and locked in, or yeah, tight, loose, tight, Um, I need the foundation to be really solid. And then I can mess around. Then I can let things go off track. And I love that. And I think especially you'll hear it in my Chroma Valdez stuff, anything, even my past stuff. It's basically me starting a thing, keeping on course, and eventually it just completely devolves. And I love that. I love that. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, Jeff, I say let's start walking through these tracks.
Yeah, I want to know why these particular songs got picked.
Yeah.
So
So, I mean, was that a pretty simple process, Chris, of selecting? Shaking your head vehemently. No. So, how did these 10 make it?
Well, initially it was clear to me I didn't want to jump on the hits. I didn't want to do like Pale Blonde Hell. I didn't want to do, I don't know, whatever other hit people might have wanted to hear. The other thing was that I had to find songs that I felt lent themselves to an electronic interpretation. And once I got the first few, it kind of set the course for the rest of the record.
Okay.
Um, so those two aspects of trying to avoid the hits, although Anonymous slipped on there, Good Times got on there,
Right.
which was kind of surprised me. But I'm really happy that I ended up doing that one. Really happy with how Good Times turned out. And the other thing is, I went to my roommate, who's a major fan of my music, and Pete Funk, who has his own band, by the way. I got to give him a shout. No Sugar, No Cream, Pete Funk.
There
Good
you go.
stuff. You guys got to hear it. You guys got to hear it.
Okay.
Um, I'm the new guitar player in his band, by the way. So
Wow.
whatever. That's another story. But I digress. Anyway, so I would go to Pete and I said, Pete, what do I do now? I said I did it. Oh, the other thing was I chose 10 records, 10. And I said, Pete, I want to do a song from each of these records. So you tell me what to play. So pretty much I left it in Pete's hands. Having said that, for example, for Good Times, he suggested Over You, right? Which I love that song. But it was too folky. I tried to do it, but it didn't fit to the electronic interpretation. Yeah. So I ended up doing Good Times. But really, Pete Funk had a lot to do with it. I said, tell me what to play. Literally, I'd finish the song. I'm like, Pete, what do I do now?
Wow. I mean, but that shows that there's some sort of artistic. Sorry, I'm thinking in Spanish. There's an artistic connection there where you can trust him to help guide you. Because when Jeff and I went through these tracks, I mean, so let's start with number one, All That Air from Love's Been Discontinued. Talk to us a little bit about this song, or what was unique this time around that you found as you were playing it as a cover. Isn't it weird to talk to the artist covering their own stuff? But
Yeah, yeah.
I digress.
Um, that song, again, I basically just started with the tempo, and then I had to find a beat. And I found that beat, which was kind of almost silly, with the dee 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 boom, ah, dee 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 boom, ah, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I'm like, this is,
Yeah, it worked.
yeah, I was like, this is ridiculous, but all right, let's do that.
Heavy metal thunder, the tides that pulled me under. Finally saw the fishes that granted all my wishes. They threw me from the water and envied me for all that air I breathe.
And then I'm telling you, it was all easy peasy after that, because it's like the guitar on the original is like bam 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 bam, but I'm like, I wanted to try and create something much more minimal, which is I tried to continue that theme to some degree throughout the record, but I just wanted it to be minimal, just like bam, just hit the chorus, bam, and recreate certain elements. In some songs, I went a little further in trying to recreate original elements. In this song, it was only the chords and then that bass line, boom, boom, boom. That tremolo bass, which originally I played on a guitar, on a tuned down guitar, but this time I actually played it on a bass through a tremolo. But I wanted to bring elements. I wanted to bring reminders of the original in. Yeah, so that's how that one came together. And but that beat made it for me. I blame the beat.
That's a great name for a title too.
Blame it on the beat.
Yeah.
I mean, Blame It on the Boogie's already been taken, so. so next up, go ahead.
Boogie schmoogie.
Blame it on the beat.
Blame it on the beat.
There you go.
All right, so that's All That Air. Next up, Divining Rod from New Improved Pain, which came out in 1995 on Normal. Right. And that one, originally, there's a lot of electric guitar. So generally, this album is you're going from more acoustic instruments or your more normal rock instruments, acoustic guitars, electric guitars, live drums, and now you're going more to this electronic feel. Was this one also chosen by your roommate, Divining Rod?
Actually not. Let me think what he chose from this record.
So New Improved Pain.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember what he chose. Oh shit. I could ask him, but he's downstairs with his family right now.
But you ended up going with Divining Rod.
Yeah, somehow Divine, and that was kind of a fluke, because I was not sure if that would work at all. And in the end, I'm really happy with how it came out. And I tried to do that synthesizer. I tried to do the guitar riff on synthesizer. That
Yeah.
it totally didn't work. It sounded so stupid, you know. So I invited my friend Heike to play violin on a few songs. I said to Heike, try this one. It was really difficult for her to play, you know, on the violin to, you know. But man, she pulled it off.
I fell down, just laughing, till my belly split in half, and its contents were revealed to me. No more a mystery. A stranger said it better. You once were a bedwetter. You were punished. Now you think you got something to say. No one listens anyway.
I have to say that I love the violin on top of the electronic.
Cool.
Yeah, it sounds really cool because it brings in that more, I don't know. I think violin reminds me of the human voice somewhat. And I mean, it's an instrument, of course, but there's something in it that reminds me of the human voice. And with that, those little pieces that she adds, and not just this song, right? She plays on a couple of songs.
She plays on Anonymous, and she plays on, I think, Let You Down. No, that's Steven on Let You Down. Safe Haven.
Yeah.
Or? Can't remember, but I think those are the three. Divining Rod, Anonymous, and I believe Safe Haven. Yeah.
Yeah, I love how that
Anyway,
there's that sound.
When I, because it was clear I wanted her on Anonymous. I definitely wanted her to cop the cello part, you know. So she actually played viola on that one, braccia, as they call it. So Heike Wendelin played violin and viola, and I knew right away I was going to love that contrast of having an acoustic instrument on there.
Yeah.
But I strictly avoided playing guitar on this record. You know, that was an intentional decision. I said I'm not going to play any guitar. Okay, I did play some bass guitar, and there's one song at the very end where I play an electric guitar. It kind of fades in at the end of one of the songs, but my intention was to try and do it as electronically as possible, focusing on drum machines and keyboards.
You know, this is some heavy stuff. I mean, it's interesting to hear the process, because then, you know, look at the next track, Split a Man in Two from Self-Taught, released in 2004.
this too. When you take my faith and drag it on the ground, you split a man in two.
Talk to us a little bit about how this cover evolved.
You know, I knew before we started this interview that I should have listened to these tracks, which I did not.
Don't worry about it.
But I'll tell you this much: that song easily lent itself to interpretation, very easily, because it's so repetitive. You know what I mean? It's just like do 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 do. It easily lent itself to this interpretation, and that was one that I slid right into. I had there are a couple elements from the original that I left out, like Jason's guitar, where he played a really cool riff on the original. I don't know. I ended up leaving that out. The whole time I was thinking, should I try and recreate this? But I left it out in the end. And then there's also a recurring loop thing that happens in that song in the original. And those I just kind of, you know, at that point I was a little more, I think, confident in what I was doing, not really still knowing what I was doing. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go full on with new interpretations. You know, the voice and the chords are still there, the tempo's there. I think that's enough that people will get the idea that this is this song. You know?
So you said that this one lent itself easily to this new interpretation. Were there any songs on the album that made it, that were difficult to transition from the previously recorded versions?
Well, as you remind me which songs I played, I can tell you,
Okay.
yes, there was definitely.
All right. Well, let's go on
So
to
that-
Anonymous
right on.
then.
One thing about me, I think you should know. Anonymous from head to toe. My signature, the perfect X. Still I remain completely vexed. I don't know my name. Only claim to fame is I don't know my name. Only claim to fame is
Anonymous is a very good example. Yes, this is a challenge. I thought it was going to be a bigger challenge because I'm trying to, you know, get the guitar part, but there's a lot of guitar stuff going on the original. And I was like, I had to pick the prominent guitar melodies and ideas that I thought were essential to this cover. So I stuck with what did I even play? I think I played the do 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 do. Is this stupid to like hum the parts during
No.
the podcast?
No.
So it's like exactly. I didn't even play the do 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 do, which is an essential part. So I just played the bow bow do 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 bow do 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 do, And then Heike, I think I wanted her to play the Did that even happen? See, I can't remember. No.
Wait, so was it an artistic choice to change that phrasing?
Well, the thing is, it's like there were two guitar parts. There's the acoustic. Hold up.
Are we gonna get a live performance right here?
We're gonna get a little do 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 do.
Yes. Oh,
You made
Okay, hold
Jeff's
on. I
day.
don't have my. Okay, I'll put my headphones on.
as all of the audience starts to fill the venue here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Cacavas is on stage right now.
Ah! All right, so I'm gonna try and. I don't have a guitar pick, but I have this little plastic coin that you put into the shopping cart.
Oh.
And it's good enough for me.
All right.
So anyway, so as I played this on the record and live, I played. All right. Tuning is overrated. So there's that.
Only a string, maybe slightly out.
So the riff going behind that is so it's like, right?
Yeah.
On electric guitar.
Sharp.
And then like. All right. So yeah, so I think that's
That is sharp.
Don't put that thing too far away.
yeah.
And keep your pick. Keep the the shopping cart pick.
I mean, normally I have like picks laying all over the freaking room. I can't. There's not one in sight.
But you know what? If it works, it works.
Here,
That
I got one for you. Can you?
It's a little far. All right, Chris. So
Right. So that's anonymous. Yeah. So that one actually, it was really fun to find those the voicings on the piano. That was really fun, but man, it was challenging to play. Oh my God. Because it's like my hands, I couldn't get it into the muscle memory of my hands.
mm,
So there were a lot of retakes on that until I actually got a smooth track. And that was absolutely the foundation for that song. So I spent quite some time getting that basic piano track.
Thank you so much for including that track in this, because for me, this is probably my favorite Chris Cacavas song. The original and the
Wow.
reinterpretation. This reinterpretation is probably my favorite on Ruins Your Favorite. So I know
Cool.
you mentioned that you were a little bit leery about having the more popular songs, the hits, as you will, but thank you so much for including this one on here.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jeffrey. Cool. I made one person happy. Yay.
okay, let's talk about good times then. Track 5.
There will be good times. Good times to drive you insane. There will be pain. Hear what I'm saying?
Well, you've already talked about it a little bit, but anything else that you want to kind of highlight from this song or the process of this song coming together? If we're gonna
Yeah.
talk hits.
Well, Good Times is challenging because that's kind of a jam song. You know, there's a lot of like guitar jam-a-rama there, and and I was always with those jam songs. I was a little bit more tentative because I knew I couldn't just grab a guitar because I told myself no guitars, and but to recreate like that those jammy moments with a synthesizer with like a 1970s synthesizer was actually really fun to try. And I think on Good Times, that was one of those songs where on the remix where everything was in place and it didn't have that vibe. It didn't quite have that vibe. And then I just laid down this whacked out, overdriven synthesizer thing, and it brought it all together for me, you know, because then it kind of brought in some of that electric guitar vibe that I was missing. And that was really fun. And it was, I've been recording enough like electronic music that it's not like a huge surprise when something like that happens, but sometimes I forget to do it. You know, it's like let's just go crazy. Let's just dive in, you know, crank up the overdrive and just blast out this track, you know, and find the vibe, you know, find that groove, you know, that freedom, that unrestricted freedom of just kind of jamming like you're jamming with friends, you know what I mean? And it's difficult because, you know, I'm not my own best friend. So I'm like, oh, I got to play with this jerk. And so.
I gotta
So
play with this.
anyway, so. Oh, great. I got to play with this guy again. No, but to cop that vibe. And on that one, it took that song for me into exactly the place that I wanted it to be. And it was really, yeah, a fun and exciting moment. There was a lot of discovery during this recording process, you know, self-discovery, sound discovery, engineering techniques. It's, I'm constantly learning by doing. And man, it was a process, and it was a pretty concentrated time because I set this deadline, you know, as you guys know, and I was busting my ass, you know, I really was, and it was exhausting, you know. I think that's why maybe I got sick, you know, in between, like I had like a cold, like a head cold. And then again, when it came time to sing, it's like my voice was like gone. And I'm like, oh man, like now it's like I don't have time for this. You know?
I don't have time to be sick.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I bet that was having that thing to focus on was probably good for your emotional well-being and just state of mind, especially during this 2020 pandemic, having that focus.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of twofold though, I have to say, you know. Um, you said a positive thing, and of course I'm gonna, you know, take it into the gutter. Um, you know, it's twofold, or it's a double-edged sword, or whatever metaphor it is. Because honestly, at this point, I don't know if there's a future in live music. I don't know. I know everybody's going to say, "Oh yes, we'll get back to this. Oh yeah, they have a vaccine and blah blah blah." It's never going to be like it was before. It's never going to be like it was before. It's never going to be people standing shoulder to shoulder with strangers, not giving an fuck And will it be like that again? I don't know. Tell me it will be. I want to believe you, but I don't believe it right now, you know? And I know it's a question of being patient, okay? And we will watch it pan out as long as we live, as old as we get. But you know, what's going to happen? What's going to happen in 10 years? Are we still going to be wearing masks? Even if we get the vaccine, do we still have to wear the mask? I don't know. My suspicion is that it's not going to be like we ever knew before. You know, not only, let's say if there's any resemblance or semblance of normality, um, we can't be normal because we went through this. You know what I mean? And my level of paranoia is not that high. You know, it isn't. I would go into a room with people. You know, once somebody, let's say the officials say, "Okay, we can do this again now." But you know, I feel a little bit like scarred, you know, already, like from the experience or from the lack of experience. Let's put it that way. And also, if I start to imagine a concert where groups are going to be able to stand within this square because they all come from the same household, you know, so you have a bunch. You're now the audience is standing, everybody 2 meters apart from each other in their own little squares where they can stand. You know what? That is not rock and roll. That is not rock and roll, you know? And if that's all, if this is the future of rock and roll, then so be it. But it's depressing to me. But if this is the only thing that people in the future will know, then they'll be okay with it because this is how it goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I won't be okay with it. Even from the stage, I won't be okay with it.
Yeah, I certainly personally think that there has to be some kind of change, permanent change as a result of this. But
For better or worse?
yeah,
Question mark.
yeah. So it'll probably be somewhere in between where we are now and where it was, I imagine. We'll see. We'll see what the future.
I mean, but here's the thing. You know, it's like, okay, good. So the rest of the world comes back to normalcy, a sense of normalcy. All the clubs are closing. How are the clubs surviving? They can't survive. The clubs are fucking closing. The circuit
Mhm.
has reduced itself by at least, I don't know, a third by now.
Yeah.
You know, at least a third. The clubs are closing. Who's going to bring those back to life? The people, these guys who ran these clubs passionately, who's booked these clubs, you know, it's a wonder if they'll freaking survive. And if they can come back, how are they going to come back?
Yeah.
How are they going to come back? Find new investors? Hey, I need money to open my club again. Sorry, your club is not a club. It's a fucking spa now. Or it's a fucking Corona clinic. What do I know? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's like, I don't want to, you know, I'm not Mr. Well, I'm a little bit Mr. Sad Sack guy. But you know, it's like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to figure out what is the reality.
Right.
I just want to know the fucking facts, you know? But they change every day. They change every day, you know? And I follow the rules, you know, I wear my mask when I go outside. You know, sometimes when I say that shit and I see myself, I look like Trump speaking like that. Because Trump's always angry. He's always angry.
No, but couple of key points. One, you're not painted orange, and two, you're not spitting vitriol. What you are, though, is stating some facts,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think it's a necessary conversation about how our music venue is going to be viable moving forward.
Yeah.
And I think you present a really good point to think about. I think we're all so desperate to be right back where we were, you know, pressed against each other, like maybe an inch between each other. I mean, Jeff is the king of being way at the front, people behind him, like, and it just being a rocking evening. And I think we're all desperate to get back to there instead of standing in a bloody square, with 4 people and then 2 meters apart is another one.
Yeah.
But I think we're all willing to, as Jeff said, we're all willing to envision whatever that change, whatever that gray area is going to be. And then,
I mean, there are two aspects to it, or probably more, but the main aspects for me are, first of all, as a spectator, I'm a huge live music fan. I was still getting in the mosh pit, I don't care. I'll get in the mosh pit. If the band's exciting and they move me, I'm in the mosh pit, At the concerts, I'm always going to the front, It would be me and Jeff like elbow to elbow up there, Heck yeah, I love it. Because I want to see what the musicians are doing. I want to look at when they step on that guitar pedal. I want to see all this, This is the excitement of live music, And the freaking camaraderie of being with strangers, that camaraderie.
Yeah.
So that was actually one aspect. The other aspect for me is that it's my livelihood, or it was my livelihood, or it supplemented my livelihood. One supplements the other. It's like I never earned enough money from music alone to survive, to raise families. And I was okay with that. But now, so what are, what my two fucking jobs are? Musician and cook. Guess what? All the fucking restaurants are closed. I can't even do that if I wanted to, So it's like, Jesus Christ, what can I do now? What can I do? I'm 59 years old. It's like, what are my options,
Right.
So what I'm actually doing right now, thanks for asking, is
What are you doing right now, Chris?
Oh, funny you should ask. Hey, thanks for asking, Jeffrey. I'm doing band coaching at a high school.
Oh, that is awesome.
And it's funny how it came about. I'll spare you the details, but so I ride my bike like 20 minutes to the high school. Tuesday I have 2 bands. One is a 4-piece with keyboards, drums, guitar, and trumpet.
Whoa, what are they, Beulah? Who is this?
What's that?
I just referenced a band, Beulah, Elephant Six band that had a similar kind of trumpet.
Dude, they're 11 years old.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I never heard of that band you just mentioned. I'm pretty sure they haven't either. But I'll ask them when I meet them. And then there's like a 5-piece band, 2 electric guitars, bass, keyboards, and drums. And last week or 2 weeks ago, I got a new band, which is 2 gals in the band, like this very petite girl who plays bass, and a girl keyboard player. Her brother plays guitar, electric guitar, and a drummer.
So you coach these students?
Well, my mission is to teach them to play a song, but they're not, they can't play chords on the piano. I have to tell them, I literally have to put their finger on the frets of the guitar. You know what I mean? So it's a challenge, but it's fun. It's freaking fun. We have a blast. I'll send you guys a video I took the other day. You guys will crack up. It's
Please.
Like, our last session just degenerated into pure chaos. It's like
rock and roll.
It's like, exactly. And and the kids need that too. I think these guys needed that. They're like, and we have to wear a freaking mask the whole time, and I think they were just happy. And I give them that room. Literally give them that room. I say, I start with a little bit of order, but if they want to take it somewhere, I'm like, let's do it. Let's get noisy. Let's get loud. Let's blow it up. And this one kid was just screaming. First he's rapping, and then he's just screaming, and it was like so cathartic, you know. And then they start like breakdancing on the floor, right? And then this one kid, he saw his buddy like do this kind of breakdance move. You'll see it in the video. It's pretty great.
I want to see
You
that.
won't see the guy's move that he actually did like a breakdance move, but you'll see his buddy trying to do it. And basically he looks like he's curled up in a fetal position. And if you see the video, you might actually worry about him, but he's okay.
Sounds like one of my dance moves.
Well, he looks a little bit like he just got tased, you know, like with a taser.
Those b-boy moves are hard, man. You got to know what you're doing.
Baby, I know. I got my moves.
No, I know you got your moves. I know if we put the right beat, if we put a little Eric B and Rakim, I know you're going to bust it out. I know that. I'm aware.
Yes, please, Soraya, yes, please don't though, because you know, if you put that beat on, I will get up and uncontrollably dance.
Yeah, no. We
have an
be
interview.
controlled chaos.
Yeah, no, we have an interview to finish here.
There we go. Okay, but I know Jeff is begging to ask it, and I'm going to ask it. Do they know your musical background?
You know, when I met the first band, my boss came in and he said something funny because I replaced another guy who just kind of lost his mind to COVID, and he's like, I need a new guy. I'm like, okay, I'm your new guy. And so he introduced me. He said, yeah, we called this guy from America, you know, to come coach you guys. But the kids are totally nonplussed, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
it's okay. You know, I'm not gonna, you know.
No, but
they don't give a hoo-ha. You know?
No, but I think it would, if I were in a band and they bring a guy and they said, this guy's released records, that would catch my attention.
Well, actually, having said that, the first band, they're my older boys. They're probably more like closer to 12 or 13. The others are all like 11-year-olds. And after a couple times we met, the keyboard player said, yeah, I found you on the internet, you know, hey, cool, you know, I saw what you did there and blah, blah, blah. That was pretty sweet. Because the first time I met the keyboard player, who's kind of like the band leader, they call, the name of their band is Big Boom, by the way, Big Boom.
Big Boom.
Yeah, and so Julian, the keyboard player, he's kind of like the spokesman for the group, you know. He's like, yeah, we need your number. We're going to put you in our WhatsApp group. I'm like, okay.
Uh-huh.
And so then he got my name, and then he Googled my name, and that's how he found out.
That's pretty dope, though.
It was pretty sweet, pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
pretty dope.
My first band is still probably my favorite, but the other two have they got some potential too, so. So with the first band, I want to do, probably going to work up the Eminem song. You got to lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You got to never let it go. You only got one chance to not miss it. Okay.
Is this the one where does Julian, was he the guy that was screaming?
No.
That's a different band?
That's my second band. That's my 5-piece, and that's the drummer, who's actually a pretty good rapper. So he's rapping in German. I made the mistake of bringing in a microphone, and they just went nuts. They went nuts. So he started out rapping, and at one point he just screamed. It sounded like The Fall. It sounded like The Fall on, I don't know, on helium.
That is,
you know, because they have those little voices, you know. So it's kind of like The Fall, extremely chaotic. It was amazing. I loved it. So for that band, I want to do I'm Not Your Stepping Stone.
Nice.
4 chords, easy, just trying to keep it simple.
Yeah.
But then the guitar player told me, you know, he's like, no, I want to do our own. I want to write an original. We need to do our own song, you know. I'm like, cool, I could do that. We can do that too. We can write our own song, you know. We don't have to play somebody else's song. So that's my second band. The third band, who are pretty young and, you know, not so talented. The guitar player is good, drummer's good. I'm thinking about Louie.
Ooh,
That's a good
Yeah.
starting point.
yeah.
I think so, you know. And I told the kids, I said, you know, I said, kids, kids, I know you listen to more modern music. I do too, but I'm telling you, these songs are more complicated to learn. So there's some great older tunes that are easier to learn. And I played it from my phone. I put in the PA and played it for them. Entschuldigung. And when they heard, like when the band heard I'm Not Your Stepping Stone, they were totally impressed. They're like, this is a cool song, you know.
And you played the
And
Monkeys version?
yeah. The Monkeys version. And that's why I brought the mic in, because I'm like, nobody's singing, so I'm like, I gotta sing. Exactly. So I started singing.
Famous last words. Give me that
It
much.
was hysterical. It was
I'm not your
hysterical.
stepping stone.
Pretty much. Oh, I was getting into it. It's cathartic for me too, you know. I don't get a lot of live music action these days. So
But see, Jeff, how cool is that?
it's pretty cool. You know, it pays $20 an hour. So hold on. So now I'm up to okay, hold on. Now I have 3 classes. So I'm earning potentially 240 euros a month. Yeah.
Hey, man.
That's my entire fucking income. I'm so fucking broke. It's crazy.
But
It's
you're
ridiculous.
on top of that, you're probably making a huge impact on these kids' lives that who knows where that influence can go, right? I mean, not just on them, but anybody that they have an influence on. So there's that too. But
I hope
I mean,
so. I
not to
hope
downplay
so.
the need for the monetary.
Yeah.
I mean,
No. I
that's
mean,
that's a real thing. So
yeah. That's cool. You know,
sorry, I'm always trying to pick up from the gutter and just try to give my little
Jeffrey,
sorry.
Jeffrey. Yeah, you should apologize for that. No. Dude, no. Thank you, really. No. Yeah, it's okay. You know, it's good for me, and maybe, I don't know, who knows? Let's see where it goes. You know, we're just having fun, and I'm just trying to, you know, build kind of a relationship with these kids. I mean, a musical relationship, and hopefully I will inspire them. You know, I the first thing I asked all of these kids is like, who's taking lessons? Well, I took lessons, but I'm not taking lessons anymore. I said, well, if you want to get better at your instrument, keep taking lessons, you know. And if you're not gonna take lessons, practice every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you really want to learn this instrument, that's the only way it's gonna work. You know? And some are clearly inspired and motivated, others less so, you know. So I try to find a balance, you know, in each band. Okay, let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. So we took a detour here back to your favorites. Can we talk about the stage? So in my mind, I always have to have a side A and a side B. So this is going to be side 2 in my mind. It's an even split, 5 songs, 5 songs. So the stage.
Jeffrey, that was my intention.
Yeah, that would be cool. So the original was on Love's Been Rediscontinued from your 2013 record on Cactus Head Records.
I took to the stage to act my age. I stood there naked, unashamed. Started to sing and lost my sight. Stayed that way for the rest of the night. And I'm trying hard to understand the weight of the gift, the lay of the land. Sometimes this kills me. took to the stage to act my age. Stood there naked, unashamed. I started to sing, lost my sight, stayed that way for the rest of the night. And I'm trying hard to understand the weight of the gift, the lay of the land. Sometimes this kills me.
How was this doing a reinterpretation for the stage?
Well,
Did Pete suggest this one?
no, I think this was my choice. It was a pretty clear choice, actually. I think mostly because of the tempo, you know, I'm like, okay, I want to do something like this. Speaking of tempo, so I tapped in the tempo, right? And a fast song is between 120 and 130 beats per minute, okay? That's already pretty fast, even for a rock song. And I tapped in and I'm like, that can't be right. That can't be right. 142 beats per minute.
What?
142.
It's that fast?
It
Dang.
is. It is.
It doesn't, it's kind of deceptive. It doesn't seem like it's that fast. What?
142. Count them, bro. Count them.
I
They're all there. All the beats are there. Count them.
I'm gonna.
Oh shit. Oh shit. There I go. I sound like fucking Trump again. Recount. We need a recount. There's not 142. There's only 130. I demand a recount. There's 142. All right. But anyway, rant over. So sure enough, 142 beats per minute. And I'm like, this is crazy, you know. So the first and most obvious difference is that on the original, it's guitar and it's already set in the tempo, even before the drums come in, you know. Genau. So you want.
There's a guitar nearby, right? Sorry, Soraya. I mean, I love you mouthing the parts, but there's a guitar right there.
Hold on, where's my. Ah, here it is.
Grocery store coin.
Right. So it's over here, by the way. Drop D, and then
Oh, it is drop D?
yeah, I'm just on these two notes, and then just a half step down on that one. And it goes down here. Anyway,
Dang. I retract my previous statement, Jeff. Yes, you were right to point out the guitar was right there.
Sorry.
right. So anyway, and then once I had that crazy ass tempo, and I had the beat, you know, I got the beat because it always starts with the beat. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna take this somewhere else.
Blame it on the beat.
And I played that piano from the beginning to that beat, but I wanted to make it really floaty and not have a tempo, you know. But it's in tempo. It is. Even the piano from the very beginning is in tempo. But I wanted to make it really floaty, you know. And I almost wanted to do the whole song like that. But then towards the end, I thought, you know what, we're going to bring the drums in. And That's what happened.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Very well executed.
Cheers, cheers. Yeah, yeah.
And then that's followed by a track from Neil from 2002, Safe Haven, which you've also mentioned a little bit.
Hold me face down in the water. Because I have no skills to hone. Because the devil is my daughter. Because no sinner is left unstoned. Oh, you've been desecrated, but it's over now. Oh, love the one you hated, I can show you how. I can show you how.
Was Safe Haven a song that was easy to lay that kind of deconstructed minimalist foundation for?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That one really worked out. That was very easy, actually. Because the main riff is anyway on the keyboards, you know, do 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 do. So I knew that was going to be pretty easy, and indeed it was. Um, and that's a song that features Haley O'Malley. I never asked her for the pronunciation of her first name, which is actually spelled more like Hallie.
Uh-huh.
And since her last name is O'Malley, I think it's maybe a rhyming thing. Oh, Hallie, forgive me if I just mispronounced your name over and over. Maybe it's Haley O'Malley. I don't know. I don't know. This is embarrassing, but it's okay. I embarrassed myself on the last podcast.
I
I
I hope it's Hallie O'Malley. That would be so.
That alliteration
Yeah.
sounds perfect. Halia.
I'm suspecting it is, but I'll ask her tonight. Hey, I mispronounced your name tonight. How's it going?
So you brought her on vocals for Safe Haven. Is there a reason why?
Okay, so there's this guy who I've never met called Chris Chandler. You probably met him, Jeffrey, because you know everybody. Anyway, he reached out to me and he's like, "Hey, I'm doing a cover. I'm doing a record of covers. I'm going to cover the Velvet Underground, Banana record. Does that have a name? It's called the
I think
Banana
isn't it
Record.
just called Velvet Underground?
Velvet Underground.
And
Thank
Nico,
you. Right?
And Nico,
Yeah, I think you're right.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to cover every song on this record in order of appearance. I'm like, cool. He's like, do you want to play on it? Steve Wynn's going to play on it. I'm like, oh, great. If Steve Wynn plays on it, then I guess I got to play on it too. Great. You know, I had other things planned this week, but fine, I'll play on your goddamn record.
If you force me to, okay.
No. Chris seems to be a very cool guy who I've never met. And yeah, he started sending me tracks and I started playing on them. And then he sent me one, and I can't remember which one, that Hallie sang on. And he told me a little bit about Hallie. And he's like, yeah. And then he sent me a link. He's like, she did this cover of Jason Molina, Farewell Transmission. I posted it back in the day, some weeks ago. So she does a mind-blowing version of Jason Molina's Farewell Transmission, right? From Songs Ohio. Do you guys know it?
No,
Oh my God. The original is amazing, and her interpretation is like spot on.
Wow.
Like she sings it almost exactly like he sings it. And I was blown away. And her version of the song she did on the Velvet Underground record is also amazing. And I reached out to her. I said, "Girl, I love you singing." And for some reason, I thought, you know what? I want her to sing Safe Haven. So she did. She sang it twice. I had both her vocals in there. And then I sang harmony to her vocal.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's kind of how that came about. Just this weird sort of internet connection thing. Yeah.
Cool.
That is
Yeah.
so. Let You Down is next from one of my favorite of your records,
Yeah.
Hell Bound Hell, from the 1994 record on Normal. And I'm wondering, you mentioned earlier that most of these are in the original key, and now I'm trying to think which one isn't. Um, do you know, is Let You Down, is that the original key?
Let me think about it. I think that one might be actually.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Let me think about it. Might not be. Jeffrey, I can't answer that.
I don't know how to tie my own shoelaces. I don't know much about saving graces. I don't know how to get back from faraway places. And I don't know how to make amends. But I know how to let you down. Every time I come around, I know how to let you down. Let you down.
So what about Let You Down, pulling that one in? Was that one pretty easy to do this new approach with?
Well, that was kind of a fluke in a way because I forget what I considered off of that record. I don't think it was one that Pete suggested, and I can't remember what he suggested. If I look at my notes, I could tell you. Um, that was a little, yeah. I don't know how I came to that one. I don't think it was Pete. But when I started doing it, I realized this is perfect for this electronic interpretation. Yeah. What I like about the original, and what I like about the electronic version, and I think maybe this is why it works well, is there's spaciousness in this song. It's basically just like boom, I don't know, tie my own shoelaces. You know, and I think that's kind of why it worked. Oh, and this is one of my favorite beats on the record. And that beat, it might be a little over the top for some people, but I freaking fell in love with that beat. And I probably should have let it come in and out, but I just fell in love with it. So I'm sorry, I just had to let it keep going.
Yeah. Blame it on the
You
beat.
know,
There you go.
again, I had to blame it on the beat.
Always.
And speaking of beats, so most of the beats
I was gonna ask.
came from this little device
What you got
called
in your
the
hand there?
Korg Chaosillator,
Look at that.
and it's like $100 or $120. I don't know if you can get this version anymore. And you play it like on this little pad here, depending on what you want to do.
Okay.
And there are hundreds of options. So it's like I'm turning it on. It's battery operated, which is also pretty cool.
Yeah.
Runs on batteries. Unfortunately, you won't be able to hear it. Oh, unless hold on, I'm gonna try something crazy.
It's made by Korg, huh? we got a little show and tell here, Soraya. So we get to
Yeah.
see how these
Fun,
beats
fun
were.
toys.
Yeah, how these beats were originated. And it doesn't.
Okay, hold on.
I'm surprised at the size of it. I mean, that's like the size of a CD case, smaller
Yeah.
than the size of a CD.
Smaller than that.
All right, let's see if this works. I'm plugging my headphones into the speaker output. And I'm going to put the speakers on the microphone.
Oh, all right. We might get a transistor radio kind of effect. We'll see.
I don't know. Let's see what you got. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Should I turn it down?
No. Turn it up. Let's be like Chris Cacavas telling the guys in the 11 and 12-year-olds. Turn
Crank it up.
You can hear that though, right?
Yes.
All right, so all right, I'll walk you through this. So it has like melodical sounds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So this is high to low, obviously. Now, and it's actually playing notes, obviously, okay? So now I take a low note. So it's kind of a filter, right?
Yeah.
So up and down is more of a filter. In this direction, it's more pitch.
oh whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, now check this out. So here I can dial in the tempo.
Yeah.
So that's 120. It's backwards, but it's 120.
Yeah, we see it.
And now, so that's like one of the sounds. So now I'm going to go to beats, okay?
Yeah.
So we got. All right, check this out though. I can record it. Now it's recorded. Okay.
Wow.
Now check it out. Hold on, I'm gonna stop the playing. Now I got another beat here, okay?
All right.
Same tempo. Okay? But the other one's still there because I recorded it, okay?
Okay.
But now I can add this one on top.
Layering.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so now I have all that. Now I can add some melodies. There's just so many options here, yeah? I'm just gonna get a little silly. I'm gonna just do it without talking about it, okay? I'm gonna record it as it happens.
Yes. Song
Oh man,
Chris Cacavas right here. We're constructing a piece right here.
dude.
Live on the podcast, constructing a piece right here. Woo! So I can definitely see how this how this works with the Chromo Valdez material for sure.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's where most of the beats came from, on Ruins Your Favorites. Yeah.
That's cool. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
That is a really cool tool.
Yeah, I haven't
Oh
seen.
my God, it's so much fun. But the thing is, it's like you can't save anything in here. So as soon as you turn it off, it's gone.
So you have to record it
Exactly.
onto an
yeah.
external device.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
I hope that if you're not sponsored by Korg yet, after the Korg executives see this episode, I hope and pray that you will get sponsored by Korg.
Yes.
Korg executives, are you listening?
Are you listening? Listen.
No, that, I mean, if that's just a glimpse, a teeny tiny sliver of the process, I mean, I can't wait for this. I mean, this is really amazing.
It
And
is.
then I can't wait for Chromo Valdez to see what Chromo Valdez brings to the table.
Yeah. I mean, I'm being really. I started something today that I'm really excited about, and we'll see where it goes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, all right. Last two tracks on the album. Don't
let's
Think
see.
Twice from
Yeah.
Bumbling Home from the Start, released in 2002.
Bad boy, you let your knickers down. You've been a bad boy. You took your guns to town. You never listened to a word I said. You got your own mind. It's gone right to your head. Didn't think you cared. You're never there. I'm up to here with your advice. Imagine you accusing me of being one who don't think twice.
Same question about this one. Was this a easy transition?
This is a little challenging because it's such a rock song in a way for me. I think my favorite part about this recording is that I managed to cop the guitar solo,
Okay.
which is really essential, because Jesse Wilder played that very melodic guitar solo, etc., etc.
You're a big man. You're the biggest.
And I'm like, I gotta cop this. And I did it with the synthesizer. And I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. I sent it to Jesse. He liked it too. This was it was challenging, but certain aspects were easy, like, because they're very cut and dry parts, like the synthesizer part that goes do 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 do. So in terms of recreating, it wasn't that challenging, you know, and the chords are pretty easy. Not, you know, the chord structure wasn't that challenging. Um, so all in all, I can't remember. I think my biggest challenge was getting this guitar solo on the synthesizer. Yeah.
And then you ended up being pleased with how it came out.
Yeah, I am. I am. I played it. Hold on. You know, since we're doing show and tell,
Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to play right now, though.
Ah.
I played it on this synthesizer.
Oh
This one.
my.
This one right here. I had to pick it up with the stand because it's attached.
Oh wow. What is that?
It's a 1970s Pro 1 sequential circuits Pro 1.
That looks like a beautiful piece of machinery right there.
It is. It is.
Oh my gosh.
My cousin. Well, I thought he was giving it to me, but he's still, every time he sees a picture of it on Facebook, he's like, "Don't forget, I need that back." I'm like, dude, this is like fucking 25 years ago. You still need this?
You're like, come and get it.
All right.
Because if you think I'm gonna carry it.
So the last song on the record, "Honking at Demons," this is also on Neil, right? So you have 2 tracks from Neil?
Wait a minute.
Am I wrong?
I hope you're mistaken.
I think this was.
I'm Googling.
I thought I could be mistaken.
No, it's on Dwarf Star.
Okay.
I win. You owe me, bro. You owe me.
We retract our statement.
Wait.
No count needed.
Dwarf Star. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
No, I think you're right.
Driving my Barracuda in the middle of the night. I'm driving like I'm looking for a fight. Then something crosses the path of my headlight. I put my hand on the horn. I start getting angry. It's something someone said once. Did you ever hear a car scream at the top of its lungs? Do you ever see a man lose his mind? Now I'm honky at demons. They stare and stare. I'm honky at demons as if they care. I'm honking at demons. But they're not there.
So why is this for a closer?
Because it's, I don't know.
I'm always intrigued by sequencing, so I, I just have to ask if there's no reason that comes to mind, but
Um, I don't know, but I'll tell you this much: it was easy. It was an easy choice for it to be the closer. Like that's how I made the sequence. I had the first song and the last song, like right away, and then I just filled in the blanks from both sides. Yeah. Why is it the closer? It just seems appropriate. It seems appropriate. And I like it. It's the most, for me, it's probably the most soulful and intimate and jammy tune on the record. Somehow it is, like how it goes out. It gets a little proggy, it gets a little prog rock, I guess, where I start like doing the kind of, stretching out on the synthesizer. It just seemed like the appropriate closer.
I think
I don't know.
it's your oldest song, isn't it? From
Well,
this batch of 10.
no, no, no,
No?
no, because Dwarf Star came out
Oh, good.
after Pale Blonde Hell.
Yeah, and
Good times.
good times too.
Yeah, yeah, and Good Times. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
All right. But it is one of the earlier ones that from the 90s. So
exactly. Yeah.
So a lot of the original releases, Chris, are German only releases, well, at least a couple of them, the normal releases. And I was wondering, when you go to your Bandcamp page, there's the 3 newest releases, and I think on another Chris Cacavas Bandcamp page, there's I think Love's Been Discontinued. I think it might be available.
Wait. On Bandcamp?
Yeah.
No, I mean, if Love's Been Discontinued is up there, I didn't put it up there.
There's another release on a different Chris Cacavas page. There's one that has these 3 newest releases.
Dude, are you serious? Because it could be that I made a second Bandcamp page without knowing that I made a first one.
I think so. I'm gonna double check.
Really? Send it to me because
Oh,
I'm a little
yeah.
I'm a little slow.
No, there is another one with you, and it's only has Love's Been Discontinued.
Okay.
And then there's another one where you have Ruins, your favorites, Burn the Maps, and Home Recordings. So yeah, you have 2. Here.
Soraya, help me. Send me that link. I need to
Yeah, I
delete it
will.
tonight.
And just a FYI, this is the photo on it.
Did I fucking make that?
I have no bloody idea.
Was I drunk?
Well, here's my question though, Chris.
No. Beyond that, did
Yeah.
anybody buy that record? Did anybody buy that record? Maybe there's money there for me. Maybe there's
What's on the merch for that link is the vinyl of Love's Been Discontinued.
Oh, that's some bullshit. Then I know. Okay, good. Okay, it's not bullshit, but
it's
no.
okay.
It was confusing to me. So if it's confusing,
Jesus, I never saw that. What the fuck?
yeah.
I'm
Oh, and
freaking out.
there's another one. Did you know of this one? That is sorry.
How many-
It's not it's a page of just an album of Me and the Devil.
That's okay.
That one's fine. Okay.
That's my buddy Ed. That's all good.
And then you've got a fan page. But
yeah, which
he's
is
not selling
stupid.
anything.
Nah, the fan page is stupid anyway. I should delete that.
All right.
Okay.
So back to my original thought. Chris, there's a lot of these releases that are not available on Bandcamp, and they're hard to get, at least like those normal releases. Is there any reason why those can't be made available on Bandcamp, or is it a label thing? They own that, so you can't sell those?
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's has more to do with my inconsequential laziness.
Please put those out on Bandcamp. Some of us will buy those.
Yes. I think more than you think will buy it.
Yeah. And then the question is, should I put it on Spotify for streaming? Steve Wynn's been hitting me up on that. He's like, you got to get that shit on Spotify.
I
To you.
I don't think it's
I'm okay. I'm a Spotify user. I'm a
me too.
Spotify user.
Me
Yeah,
too. I've been
yeah.
listening to the new AC/DC for the last 2 weeks on Spotify.
Ooh,
Or week
okay,
and a half.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Before the vinyl came in yesterday. But
Is
Well,
it
Jeff and I
good?
are also like, we like physical copies.
Me too. Ooh, that's right. Nice.
anyways, before this came in, but I don't think you're going to get as much money on Spotify. If you put some of those releases out on Bandcamp, I'm giving you money.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. Here's what's clear to me. Anything on Spotify, I ain't gonna see a goddamn penny. I think that's been made pretty clear, right?
Right.
Well, I think
Exactly.
you might not see pennies, but you might get a little blue grocery coin. I mean, it's not worth as much, but you can play guitar with it.
See? He goes, Mo better pick.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, I was just wondering if some of these other Chris Cacavas releases couldn't be made available on
Jeffrey, yeah, Jeffrey, thanks for bringing that up.
just a thought.
No, it has to happen. It has to happen. And there's nothing keeping it from happening because all the publishing rights have reverted back to me. So yes, it has to happen.
Even better.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, all right.
All right, Chris. So before we even let you go, I want to know, what are you listening to right now that you're enjoying?
Well, I recently, oh man, I've been listening to so much electronic music, but the record that has recently kind of blown me away, and I haven't spent so much time with the record on repeat as I have with this recently. I want to look up the title to make sure I don't get it wrong. And there's a little story behind it. So, are you familiar with the band Hot Chip?
No,
I'm not either.
writing that down.
Hot Chips. So kind of a British electronica. I don't know where the guy's from, but when Dream Syndicate played in, where the hell were we? Egerson. Oh, it's Steve Wynn and me actually. It wasn't the Dream Syndicate. We played in Egerson, Norway, at a festival, and or was it fucking? Oh, geez. Anyway, check this out. And I still can't figure out if it's a Hot Chip record or if it's a mixtape from Hot Chip, but it's such a beautiful listen. And the record is called Late Night Tales. Late Night Tales, Hot Chip.
Hot Chip? Is that what you're?
Yep, Hot Chip.
Hot
All right. Late Night Tale.
Late Night Tales. Hot chip.
All right, people. I hate to say, I have to make a relatively quick departure. The beer has
Well,
made
that's our
other
exit.
things.
That's our cue. Thank you so much, Chris. You have a good
Always a pleasure, guys. Always a pleasure.
All right.
I love you, Chris.
Be well.
I love you too, Jeffrey. Soraya, mwah.
Love you.
Love you too. All right, guys.
All
Take
right.
care.
Yep,
Beautiful.
for sure.
Take care of yourself.
All right, you too, guys.
All right,
See you
Chris.
soon.
Thank
Yo,
you.
ciao. You too.
Ciao.
Ciao.
I love that guy, Soraya.
He's
got-
just a good, solid person
Yeah, yep.
and
Yeah.
has been nothing but generous and sweet with us.
Yeah, and on top of that, and that to me is the most important thing. On top of that, he is so talented, and I absolutely love his voice. On this, and it comes through really clear on Ruins Your Favorites. Whenever I hear his voice, it feels like home to me. It just makes me feel warm. The guy is ultra talented. Like all these instruments that he plays everything, except for like
We'll have to watch the YouTube episode because Chris picks up the guitar not once, twice, plus picks up a device to create on the fly.
yeah, that Korg.
I mean, and he can recreate the foundation of those 10 songs just by humming, even though he said, I really should have listened first. And then he would just nail it.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. He's awesome.
he's
Yeah,
just good people.
Yes, I definitely recommend this release. Only available on Bandcamp, as far as I know. So there's no physical release, digital only. And I really do hope that some of that back catalog becomes available too. Because there are physical copies available, but it's like a German only release. So for us in the US, that's a little bit more difficult. If any of our listeners are available in the UK that want to help a brother out, let me know.
And a sister out.
Right. But yeah, so it would be nice if those could become available on Bandcamp. So
Crazy, man.
yep,
Jeff, I think we just need to call it a day.
yeah.
Mi gente, a gruviar.
Groove on, Paisley people. And then we had a thought that was inspired by you, and I wanted to run by you. We were thinking about next year in 2021 doing a series, a DJ series. Actually, Soraya thought of this idea of maybe like doing a once a month thing where we have our friends back on and we'll have like 5 questions or 5 different categories that we'll ask everybody that comes on. Like, play a song that gets you moving every time you hear it, and play us a song that you are involved with that you're the most proud of at the moment, like that kind of thing. And it was inspired by you sharing some albums that that you had gotten recently the last time we talked to you. So Soraya said, let's do something where we have like guest DJ spots inspired by Chris Cacavas. So we were wondering, maybe next year sometime, if you would be interested in participating in that. Once we develop it out, we're still trying to figure it out.
We got to flesh it out.
Yeah, we're still feeling around on the little pad until until we dial it in. But it was inspired by you, and we were wondering maybe sometime next year if you would be our premiere episode, if that ends up being something that
I'd be honored. I'm happy to do anything with you guys because I love you guys.
We love you.
We love you right back.
And but I gotta say, so would it be an actual like set? Like we'd be talking like this, and then I'd play a song like that?
So it would have to be, there would have to be some preparations for it, where we would send you the 5 categories in advance before we started recording. You would pick them out in advance. We would probably have to do something where we have the tracks available to play somehow. So you would basically just pick them out, and I would be prepared in advance to play them. Or at least,
would it be? Is it a live? Would you want to do a live thing, or would you rather do or more like a podcast, like a pre-recorded thing?
Ooh, a live thing would be fun. I didn't even.
Live would be fun, but
that would definitely involve completely different logistics,
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say anyway about the concept, which I find cool, but depending on the question that you address to each record, you're going to get a very bizarre and eclectic cross section of music,
Yeah.
For better or worse.
And that's fine.
That's
what you guys are open to that. You're cool with that.
Yeah.
One of the things that we always get back in feedback, Chris, especially, with episodes like with you, with Steve Wynn, with so many of our guests, is a lot of times a name or a band, a musician will be dropped. And people go, that sounded really interesting. And then they go on that deep dive. So then we were thinking, if we ask people just, some basic questions and how would they fill that gap? I think our listeners would love it because you'd be opening them up to something they probably have never heard.
And
And
Mm-hmm.
and it
people
Mm-hmm.
like that stuff.
yeah, and it tells our listeners more about you. And
Mhm.
that's honestly that's what a lot of us care about. I love your music, but I love you more than I love your music. And not that I
Well,
don't
no,
love you, but it's
No, really.
it's an added dimension because like I remember the first time we talked to you, Chris, I was surprised because you started like just kind of showing us disco. Like that message thread cracked me up. I
Nice.
go, here's this guy that's a rock musician who's just blowing my mind because he knows, the Tramps, or he knows all this disco music, and
SOS.
your DJ set. And it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just, I
yeah,
said, who would even add two together? Nobody. So like a DJ set,
No.
like DJ, I think.
Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. I'm gonna throw something out there based on what you guys have told me so far. So I think it could work this way, maybe. So like you guys would say, so basically it's me answering a question with a song.
Yep.
So you guys say context, context, context. Now, what do you think about this? Because it could still maybe have then the potential to go live. Um, and then I would pick out all my song answers. I would be ready for my song answers. And maybe it would be also nice to, if I could reveal them live with you, but that might not work. But maybe then I would send you my 5 songs, let's say. You could have them queued up. Um, and maybe as out of fairness, you wouldn't listen to them until that night, that we have the interview.
oh,
Like
And so you have we have question 1, song 1, question 2, song 2, blah blah blah. And then first, so now let's say we're live, or we're not live, or we're podcasting, we're pre-recording. Hey Chris, play us a song that is blah blah blah. Then I would say, well, that would have to be this song, which means this to me because of that. And then boom, Jeffrey hits play, and something like that. Could that work?
yes.
yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
We could do
we
that.
sketched it out, Jeff.
What?
Cool.
You've even got a diagram? There's like a
This is the way my brain works. I work in diagrams. So I put
Okay.
question, song, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice. I like it. I like it. Yeah.
See, Chris, this is why she runs this show.
No.
Yes.
I work here. Jeff
No.
runs.
So that is proof right there. That is proof.
Hey, you guys work so well together,
She's
yeah.
amazing. She's amazing.